Welcome to day one of your 7-day Move Your Body Challenge. For the next 7 days, we'll really be walking through foundations of yoga, some slow, very nice and refreshing practices, just to kind of give you that bit of patterning that you really want to come back to your mat. And so for the next 7 days, you can follow along with us on Instagram, or you can simply fill out the form in the description of this video and we'll reach out to you separately. We'll be doing this challenge through YouTube and Instagram. So very easy, it's free for everyone, accessible to all the people. So whether you are a beginner and you have no foundation underneath you, or you are a seasoned yogi who maybe experiences pain in the wrists, the knees, the hamstrings, all the usual suspects for yogi injuries to happen, the next 7 days will really walk us through how to build a better foundation, how to take steps back to move forward. And we'll start with this practice simply by starting with a mantra. And every class is going to include a mantra. And the one that we'll start with today is, I am curious about this. And this could be anything. It could be this practice that you're showing up to today, or anything that you might feel interested or a little unsure about. And maybe you have some limiting beliefs around that thing that you're curious about. Maybe you're a beginner and this is something new. So just keeping that at the forefront of your mind to come in with curiosity. And reminding yourself of that throughout your day today, whenever you bump into challenges, just to remain in a curious mindset. And along with that, a part of this challenge will be encouraging you to get outside. And so it is October. I know for myself, I live in Colorado, so the weather is rapidly changing. The days feel shorter already. And so a lot of times when we go into that space, we start to get in our heads a little bit about what's to come. And maybe I'll speak for myself. I have been a little dramatic in the past, just slightly dramatic, about the change of weather, and it found out it really did nothing to serve me. It made me in a more negative mindset, and so now I have some tips for you that I want to share. You can follow along via email if you would like to have more of those, but some of the most basic ones are simply eating fresh savory herbs that really give you like the warm and cozy feeling, soups and warm foods, warm coffee, warm tea, all the things. And then of course getting into community, so making sure that we're staying with our commitments to be around and with others in community in some way that serves us. So whatever it is you're interested in, it does not have to be yoga by any means, it could be anything. There are groups for everything, and that is something I'm sure of. And so, yeah, just encouraging you to go in with curiosity around both of those things, starting to embrace the seasonality rather than resist it. And that's enough talk for today. So we're going to start to get into a little bit of movement. And like I said, we'll be close to the ground for this practice. You really don't need anything. We're going to start very simply, very slowly. And I hope this just gives you the refresh that you are looking for. And we'll actually start in a seat. So if you had a block and you were sitting on it, you can move it aside. You can take your hands to your knees or your thighs, and then just close down your eyes. And right away, we'll start with nice long inhale breaths through the nose. And then soft sighs out of your mouth. And just kind of finding a pattern there, in through the nose and out of the mouth. Start to shift your attention to the breath coming in low. So it's down in the belly, maybe even putting a hand there for a little bit of feedback. Big inhale in through your nose. And then an exhale out of your mouth. You can blink those eyes open. And then I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see a little bit better here. We're just going to start to kind of move around the spine. So as you inhale, take a breath and reach both arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands come to your heart. And we've got 2 more like that. Big breath in, reach high. Exhale, hands through the heart. And the last one here, take a breath in. And then a breath out. Keep the palms glued together. Take a breath in, reach your fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, your right hand back. Left hand catches the outer edge of your knee or your thigh. And you can find fingertips back behind you. Just let your shoulder blades roll down your back. And then relax into the hip flexors here. Notice if you're gripping in the hips or the toes or the fingertips, and you can let all of that go. Keep your left hand where it is. Take a big breath in, reach your right hand up and overhead. It's gonna cross the body, catch your opposite knee. And now you can linger here just for a couple of moments, kind of rocking side to side, tucking chin in towards the chest. Right hand can stay where it is. Take a breath in and reach your left fingertips high. Just go for a swim. Crossing that left hand across your body, catching the right knee, and then right knee takes up and back. Big backstroke here. Fingertips reach across the body. Keep that rounding of your spine. So think cat of the spine, aka terrible posture if you're just sitting here, but rounding down, making space in between the shoulder blades. You got one more time each side. And then keep your right hand on your left knee. Take your left hand back. Find your seated twist. Fingertips behind you. A nice calm face. Soft jaw. Last breath here. Take an inhale. Reach both arms back to center. Exhale, hands come to your heart. And then we'll go ahead and rock over the knees. Find yourself in a tabletop. And take a moment to really set things up here. Wrists underneath your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. And then take your fingertips back towards your body. Find a forearm stretch. You can start to take little circles to the right or the left. One last time here, and then spin those fingertips back to the front of your mat. Press into the tops of your feet. Right hand find the middle of the mat, right underneath your nose. Take a breath in, send your left fingertips up towards the sky. You can roll out your left wrist, stack your shoulders, and then we're just gonna take 2 taps. As you exhale, thread the needle, come onto left shoulder. We're not gonna stay here, just finding that space. Inhale, breath to reach it back up. Use your inhale to make that space in the chest. Take an exhale, tap it down. And then an inhale to reach it high. Exhale, left fingertips back to your mat. Center of your mat, so right underneath your nose. Breath in, right hand reaches high. Roll out that wrist, stack your shoulders. Take an exhale, come on down and tap. Inhale, reach your right hand back towards the sky, open it up. Exhale to tap it down. Last one here, reach your fingertips back up. Exhale, right hand to your mat. Now, you can start to walk your way, fingertips towards the front of your mat, and maybe slide your knees back just an inch, maybe 2 inches here. Press into the tops of your feet, and then shift your hips way, way back. Find a version of child's pose. We won't be in an exact child's pose, so you can keep the knees a little closer together here. Forehead finds the mat. As you inhale, tip your tailbone up. Start to sweep forward, coming into a cow pose. So the tailbone is flipped. You're taking your gaze towards the sky. A nice big arch in that back. Exhale to push into your palms around your spine. And then shift your hips way back. And we'll do that a couple of rounds. As you inhale, bring it forward. Tip the tailbone, arch the spine. Take your gaze high. Exhale to round, push the floor away and make that space. Last one here, bring it forward and through. Exhale to push it back. And then hang out here in your child's pose. You can take the knees a little wider, take your forehead down to the ground or your mat. And then press into your palms, press into your fingertips. You can start to press your way back to a tabletop, nice and slow. And then tuck your toes. Lift your hips up high and back and find your first downward facing dog. Take a moment to take your feet nice and wide, so a little wider than hips distance here. And then pedal out the feet. Bend one knee and then the other knee. Inhale to rise up onto your tippy toes, lift your heels high, and then start to walk your feet up to meet your hands at the top of your mat. Take your feet wide as your yoga mat or wider than your hips if you're not on a mat. And then bend your knees, catch opposite elbows, start a little sway from side to side. Releasing the head, releasing your neck. Take an exhale breath, hands find your mat. Heel toe your feet back to hips distance. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Hands come to your shins. Pull your shoulder blades back. Exhale, round your spine. Find a fold. Bend the knees, round it down. Inhale, root to rise. Both arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center, palms come together, and then interlace your fingertips. Inhale to press the palms face up towards the sky, open up the hands. Exhale, dip over towards the right side. So I'm finding left side body stretch, pressing evenly into both feet, lifting all 10 toes. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back to center here. Exhale, swan dive. Take it all the way down and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, plant your palms. Step right back to your downward facing dog. The hips go nice and high. Find a big breath in through your nose. And then an exhale out of your mouth. Inhale, rise up onto tippy toes, lift your heels. Exhale, start to walk your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, root to rise, both arms up and overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands through heart, and then interlace those fingers. Inhale to reach up high, stretch out the hands. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, bring it to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, breath back to center. Exhale, let the arms go wide. Take yourself all the way down to a fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, plant your palms. Step your right foot back. Now find yourself in a low lunge, that left knee's forward. Maybe you take up some space here, so heel toe that left foot out just a little bit, and then lower down your back knee. Squeeze your inner thighs. Inhale to rise up. Find Anjaneyasana, biceps to your ears. You should feel a nice big stretch here in the psoas or front of your right thigh, all the way up maybe into your belly or lower rib cage. Reach your fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, hands to your mat. Slide your left knee back. Now you're in a tabletop. Shift your hips all the way back. That child's pose version we did earlier. Inhale to press into your palms. Find a cat in your spine. Exhale to drop your belly. Take your gaze high. Now we're in a cow pose. Shift your hips way back. Find yourself in a child's pose. Forehead to your mat. Nice and slow. Press your way back to a tabletop. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up high and back. Find down dog. Inhale, rise up on your tippy toes, lift your heels. Start to walk your feet up to meet your hands, top of your mat. Round it down, find a fold. Inhale, root to rise, both arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, push up, stretch out the hands. Exhale to the right. Inhale, bring it through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, swan dive, take it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Find that long spine. Plant your palms or fingertips on your mat. and then slide your left foot back. So right foot is at the front of your mat or forward. Take up some space, so heel toe that foot out just a little bit, and then lower down your back knee. Squeeze those thighs. Inhale to rise up. Find Anjane. Start to find that stretch in the fingertips, in the left side body, front of that left thigh. Exhale, hands to your mat, and then slide your right knee back. Shift your hips all the way back. Settle into that child's pose. Forehead finds the mat. And we'll close our practice here in a child's pose, and you're more than welcome to stay here for longer, linger here if you need a little bit more grounding in your practice. Otherwise, we'll close out together. Take a breath in through your nose and fill up the belly. And then an exhale out of your mouth, let that breath go. Finding a moment of gratitude for yourself and for your practice. And we'll see you tomorrow with April for day 2.